Why is the war in Gaza happening?
I was in Israel on October 7th. I was on the receiving end of the animosity that you're referring to. So I speak with this kind of in very personal terms. It's happening because of a fundamental problem, and it's not about injustice. It's about the inability of Israel's immediate neighbors, ordinary people, what Americans here called Gen Pop, the general population in those countries, not being able to recognize that the Jewish people have a legitimate right, justified by scripture, archaeology, and history, to be in those lands, to be in and around Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Haifa, Hebron, whatever you wish to call it. There's a legitimate claim backed by the Quran, the Old Testament, the New Testament, archaeology, and the Prophet Muhammad's own companion Umar inviting Jewish people back in the year 636. Salahuddin Ayyubi in 1187, Saladin brings Jewish people back. It was the Christians that forced them out. And there's Ibn Khaldun, the great Muslim historian, recognizes this. But today's activist Muslims and those in and around the state of Israel don't recognize the Jewish claim to be in Israel. And that's why Gaza happened. Because once the mood music is Israel has no right to exist, then it becomes, right, how do we remove it? So that's why I think we should go back to first principles and recognize Israel, Yaqub has every right to exist. Who are we to say Yaqub or Jacob has no right to exist and Jacob's children have no right to a country? It's just a bizarre, banal claim, but that's where we are. Once we've settled that question, that's why the Abrahamic Accord is so important, because it recognizes the Abrahamic claim, the children of Jacob, Yaqub, Israel is the same name, their claim to the land. Once you recognize that from the perspective of God, scripture, political reality, then you can say Hamas has no legitimacy. But we are, I'm afraid, now in a position of just trying to destroy Hamas without destroying its argument. So October 7th happened because large 2 million people in Gaza were forced, in Hamas concentration camp to believe in the fact that their neighbor Israel has no right to exist. Palestinian identity became not about prospering as Palestinians, but about destroying the state of Israel. And where we need to get to is a position where Palestinians have justice and they have their state, but Israelis have their security, where they feel as though there isn't a region or a neighborhood immediate to them that wants to destroy them. And once we have justice for Palestinians,